Statistics show that marriages that happen between the ages of 20 to the years of 25, those marriages are at a higher risk of divorce than any other group.
Yes. And then we also talking about our marriage. What was the percentage on that?
90% of second marriages end up in divorce.
Wow.
There are a myriad of challenges and risk to early marriages, especially those marriages occurring in the early ages between 20 to 25. Number one, people somehow think that maturity is not linked to marriage. But I disagree with that.
At 25, I was midway in the loading process of figuring out who I am.
How many individuals who have seen this content at the age of 25 can say that they were fully developed and ready to take on the challenges that comes with marriage and life? Later on in life, I felt like I made a mistake. I should have done something else. The early 20s, statistically proven, is a search for identity. You can't even accurately make a permanent decision on something.
I'm never going to go back on, I do not encourage a 20-year-old or anybody in their early 20s to get married. I'm not going to go back on that, no matter what.
Marriage is not for everyone.
Welcome, everyone. We are so happy to be here. We have been having so much fun having these conversations, and we realize that a lot of you are enjoying these conversations as well, because we see all these comments in the comment section. And also, love, we have noticed that there are a lot of people who watch, who consume our content, yet
they're not subscribed.
They're not subscribed.
What's happening, guys?
What's happening? Come on. All right. So we're going to give them 10 seconds. It's free, guys. The button is right down here. You can actually go ahead and click that subscribe button, and it's all free. Gratis. Okay? So, all right. We're going to give you 5 seconds. Okay? Let's start the countdown now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Subscribe, guys.
Subscribe. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the Unfiltered Heart Talks Podcast, family with the Dawkins.
Right. And for first-time viewers, we want to welcome you and thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
Let's get into this conversation.
Yes, love.
Yes. So we posted a video where we had the discussion about why we stayed married, why we got divorced, the biggest mistake of our lives. And of course, we got a lot of comments, especially over there
on TikTok. Yes.
And we made the statement that we strongly discourage young people, especially those individuals who are in their 20s.
Early 20s, guys.
Early 20s from getting married. And of course, a lot of people have their own experience, and they felt like our opinion wasn't valid, being that their reality was expressing something completely different. And of course, we try not to be monolithic in our thinking. This is not a monolithic bubble that we are creating. We're creating a space where people can have their own perception as it relates to what we discuss and share it with us.
And so it was in the comments.
And so it was in
very
the comments.
Polarized.
Right.
You know, one group of people were for this and they agreed 100% with what we said. And then there were people that were sharing their own experiences, and there were people that were completely anti what we said. And then there was also a person, I believe, in the comments that's saying, "Sir, you're not God." Yeah.
Somebody asked me if I was a psychologist also.
Right? Yes, that was. Are you a marriage therapist?
Are you
I think it was
a counselor?
Yeah, marriage counselor. Yes.
Yeah. You know, but the thing is, when it comes to marriage, there are a myriad of research and statistics that are there to support the claim of early marriages and the risk that comes with it, especially those marriages that occur during the early 20s.
Yeah.
Statistics shows that marriages that happen between the ages of 20, especially in the teens too, because people do get married in their teens.
Yes.
But those marriages from the late teens to the early 20s to the years of 25, those marriages are at a higher risk of divorce than any other group that gets married.
That's true. And I remember you were sharing some data with me on a lot of couples marriages failing within
the first 5 years. Right. So a lot of early marriages, statistics shows that a lot of early marriages faces a number of issues, and we're going to touch on a few of those issues. But a lot of early marriages fail within the first 5 years.
So you see why
5 to 10.
Yeah.
Including mine.
Wow.
Including yours.
Including mine. So you see why, and that's another thing we need to touch on. So you see why I thought that pushing it to year 7 would have guaranteed success. And then we also talking about our marriage. What was the percentage on that?
It was 90%.
90% chance of failure
of second marriages.
For second marriages.
90% of second marriages end up in divorce.
Wow.
So, and this is very important to put out there, that statistic is just a number. You are just a number within that statistic. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will be a part of that statistic. You can be the 1%. And of course you have the 1%.
There's always the 1%.
But majority makes the rule.
Yes.
And so when we speak to early marriages, especially age group marriages within the 20s, we're really making the argument for majority of those marriages which have led to divorce. All right.
And another thing that I realized, because you've rightfully mentioned statistics is just a number.
It's just
not
a number.
Everybody gets counted and checked.
Right.
So that means that there are a lot. I've known people who have been divorced, like separated, and they never got back together, but they never went through the divorce process. So I don't believe the statistics is even including those couples that never got divorced, but stayed separated.
Right.
Yeah.
And some of the statistics that we have looked at, and of course we're going to get into some of them, as well as share videos from divorce lawyers and their thoughts on early marriages and divorces. But the thing is, there are myriad of challenges and risks to early marriages, especially those marriages occurring in the early ages between 20 to 25. Number one, you can make an argument for incomplete personal development, and that looks at the development of the brain, the prefrontal cortex,
yes,
right, which is said to be fully developed by the age of 25, which is something that I don't believe in, honestly, because at 25 years old, come on, I remember how mature I was.
Yeah.
Hands down, and anybody at Victor Dixon High School, when I was going to high school, can say this, that I was the most, not one of, I was the most mature student at Victor Dixon High School. I was so mature and respected, not only by peers, but by teachers. I was called Mr.
And you were called the pastor.
Mr. and pastor. So talk about my level of maturity during high school. Yeah. It was high. Yeah. But there were stages to maturity, which is one of the arguments that we always make, But people have a perception when it comes to maturity, and people somehow think that maturity is not linked to marriage. But I disagree with that.
Yeah, I can remember when I was 15, 16, a lot of people said...
You were very mature.
A lot of people said that I was mature for my age. But to say, I'm not going to say, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a brain person. But at 25, I was midway loaded in the loading process of figuring out who I am. So to say that it's completely developed at that point...
Right. I don't agree with that.
I personally don't agree with that, but everybody develops at a different phase and a different stage. Some people are born premature. Some people are born late. Some people...
Let me tell you what.
Different cultures,
If we were to do a survey on this video, or just do a survey post after we post this video, to do a survey to ask how many individuals who have seen this content at the age of 25 can say that they were fully developed and ready to take on the challenges that comes with marriage and life.
Rewind. So are you... All right, let me rephrase the question, because I think it was a little bit jumbled. You're asking a person that is not 25 to look back at their 25-year-old self.
Yeah, I'm saying how many individuals out there who would have gone through the 20 their 20s, and of course they have an understanding of what their 20s look like and how much your early 20s, 20 to 25. How many of those individuals can accurately say 100% say that at age 25, I was fully ready to take on life as well as marital responsibilities. I was ready, I was prepared, and I 100% had all the necessary experiences and skills needed to handle the challenges and responsibilities of marriage.
A lot of people can't say that.
A lot of people can't say that.
Yes, because a lot of people in their 40s looking back said that. You know, even when I remember, I don't know who else can relate, but when I was in prep school and I got to fifth form, no, when I was in prep school and I got to grade 6, I felt like I was grown. You see, when I was in high school and I was in fifth form, I thought I was grown. I thought that I arrived. You see, when I went to college, I'm like, my God, I'm literally just learning. Like, I did not arrive. I only thought I did. Yeah. You know? So a lot of time.
Yeah, life is like that. Because talk about students who go to university, and there are countless amount of students who can say that when I was going to university, I thought at the moment that I wanted to study this particular degree. But later on in life, I felt like I made a mistake. I should have done something else. The early 20s, the argument I'm trying to make is the early 20s, statistically proven, is a search for identity. It's personal development age. I'm not saying, again, that you don't have that 1% of individuals who can really get married and sustain that right throughout life. Another statistics that we looked at that was very interesting was one coming out of England. I'm just going to see if I find that statistics where it was actually making reference to a lot of young people in their early 20s who gets married in England and Europe. They end up getting divorced in their early 40s, between 40 and 45.
Yes, you were sharing that with me.
You know?
Yes.
So what statistics is showing is that the marriages that really last, which is not a lot, because we understand that marriages are failing left, right, and center. But the argument we're making is that early 20s marriage have a higher divorce risk than any other age group that exists.
But wait. Then we get to like, anyway.
I'm going to look for the...
Definitely. And you know, somebody listening to this podcast would probably say, like we've heard in one of our previous conversations, somebody listening to this podcast might be able to say that relationships aren't lasting these days because, as our comment said, as soon as there comes a crossroad, everyone is willing to give up. No one is willing to fight through the struggles. So what happens in those situations where those people got married very young in their teens, early 20s, and they still ended up in divorce when they were 40? What happened? Obviously, they fought through something. You know, what really happened during that time where they decided, I'm going to fight for almost 20 years and then I'm going to give up at age 40?
Well, another interesting statistics, and the statistics that I made mention of earlier, it came from Harbor Family Law. So these are people who deals with divorce. So divorce. Yeah. So you know that they have accurate statistics as it relates to divorce issues. Another statistics shows that a lot of people, how many percentage did it say? I shared it with you. It was about 20-something percentage of families that gets separated but not divorced.
Ooh,
so they get separated,
but never go through the divorce
up to 5
process.
Years and never go through the divorce process. And a lot of that happen.
Yes, you know? And I was telling you that I know somebody personally that they're in their 60s, you know, mid 60s, and they've been separated for the longest time. This person is in their 60s and they have not gotten a divorce. And it makes you realize that even though the statistics says this, it's probably not 100. Well, it is accurate. It is accurate because they're going
based on that they have collected.
It's going based on people who have gone through the divorce process.
The population sample that they have studied, or for those who have gone through the divorce. And mind you, divorce statistics is not something that you will find that is easily debunked or that contains errors, because these statistics usually comes from law firms who studies who practices
family law,
and they also come like this one in the United States. I'm just going to pull it up really quick because I want people to get the facts.
And we could also link those things in the description.
Yeah, we could definitely link these statistics.
One of the things I want you to remind me of is, you remember that culture, that one group of people that you said that every year about 90% or more people get divorced. It's like a Spanish country.
Was it a Spanish country?
Portugal or something like that?
I think it was Portugal. I was looking at global statistics for marriage and family. Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking at global statistics.
I thought that was a lot. 90% per year.
90% of. I'm not sure if it was per year. It says 90%. Their divorce rate is at 90%.
Oh, wow.
So that's how many people are getting married and divorced in a short span of time. And you made mention of the fact that, you know, a lot of people are getting married and getting divorced, especially now in this era. And the truth is, I just believe that people no longer possess the temperament to deal with marriage. I just don't believe that someone once said that marriage is not outdated. It's just that people are no longer worthy of marriage.
Yes.
I don't think that it's not a case where people are not worthy, because God did create us to be and get married. And the truth is, marriage is not for everyone. Was that God's expectation that we would all get married and have lovely families and live? Yes. But of course, sin has tainted everything, you know, so marriage is not for everyone.
No,
that's true.
It's not.
And for those who are married, I just don't think that people really possess the character, the mental capacity, the personal development to deal with marriage. And a lot of people we would have seen commented from TikTok, which were saying that, hey, there are countless men out here who are in their 30s, even 40-year-old
and they're not ready for marriage.
They're acting like little children.
Kids.
You know, so it goes back to personal development. And that is why if they are in their 40s and are acting that way, it shows that they did not go through the proper stages of personal development. You know?
Yes.
And if you understand psychology, if you understand the psychology and the developmental stages, you can understand how detrimental it is for people not to go through the proper stages of development.
Yes.
You know, yes, someone can argue to say that it's just a theory, but this theory
has been tested
and proven, you know. But one of the things that we made mention of too, where we talk about the search for identity in your early 20s, and we made mention also of the prefrontal cortex, which is the part of the brain dealing with decision making. In your early 20s, you can't even accurately make a permanent decision on something
that you know you won't regret later on in life.
You know, that's a trial and error stage where you are trying different things to see how your personality match with these things and how much these things will affect you or impact your life going forward. So when you talk about, and I'm not saying that, I'm not making the argument only to say that people in their early 20s should not get married to each other. I'm making the argument also to say, definitively, to say that even individuals who are in their 30s or 27, 28, 29, who are fully ready and prepared, I still wouldn't advise those I would not advise anyone who is at that age to get involved with someone who is in their early 20s.
Yes. I'm
it's not going to work.
Yeah. I'm thinking about, I had asked the question, what are your thoughts on a woman marrying a man that is younger than her? And that's another rift that was, brought it up
over
TikTok.
That's the argument that brought up the debate.
Yes, because this one lady, she just made her statement clear that I was maybe 14 or 10 years older than my spouse, or however older. I'm not entirely sure of the exact number, but I'm older than my spouse, and a relationship lasted a long time until he passed away. So that's another.
That's a 1%.
That's a 1% too.
And kudos to you. Thumbs up. You found yourself a good one, and that's something you should be proud of, I would say.
Yeah. But I really do want to get into these other professionals, what they're saying, because honestly, I'm never going to go back on. I do not encourage a 20-year-old or anybody in their early 20s to get married. I'm not going to go back on that, no matter what. I remember how stupid I was when I was 20, and I literally just started waking up. 20, when I was in my early 20s, I was figuring life out.
Figuring life
out, trying to do this thing. How does money work? How does this work? Man. Then I'm in I'm at 25. I'm uncertain, but I'm still there. And then when I got to 28, I realized I'm not here for jokes.
Life is
if you don't
serious.
like me, that's fine.
Life is getting serious.
I'm here to build the dream and move forward. My relationship with God and my family is important. And that is all that matters to me. That's when I got to that level. I didn't get there when I was 20. And I'm not saying it's impossible to actually have a family at 20. So many people do it. I look at one of those people that I really used to consume her content a lot. Sarah Therese.
Right.
Yeah, Sarah Therese, she got married early. Her husband was 19 and she was her husband was 20 and she was 19 or something like that. They were just a year apart and he was 1 year older, and they got married. They are together now, and I think they're on child number 5.
Oh, wow.
Right?
That's amazing.
So they're the 1%, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, they're the 1%.
It's definitely beautiful.
One time
it's not impossible.
Yeah, one time I could make the argument to say a young lady, even at 18 years old, would be far more prepared to handle the responsibilities of marriage. And that is because we have to understand that women are so different from men in our expectations and what we look for as men. It takes way more for us to get to that place of personal development. Whereas for a woman, she's not necessarily waiting to get to that place of development. She's waiting for the right man to come along who has everything that he needs to have so that she can hop onto that wagon and experience upward social mobility just like that.
That's a little vague, but
meaning that whereas a man has to work to accomplish all that he needs to accomplish to be ready to take care of his marital responsibilities. Back then, women were not necessarily going out to work, getting into the field and stuff like that. A rich man comes along, he sees her, he likes her, and he takes her to be his wife. And by virtue of the fact that she becomes his wife, she automatically gains status. So what I'm saying is that men were not born with value. Biblically speaking, every human being is born with value. From a societal standpoint, men have to earn their own value and status.
I see your point.
So a woman is born a virgin. She's beautiful. She automatically has status and value just by the fact that she's a virgin. Now, take it to this era. You don't need to be a virgin anymore. You just need to be beautiful, as they say about, and that gives you value. Where it concerns a man, we have to go through life's journey. We have to get ourselves educated. We have to take care of our physical physique, get physically fit, take care of our body, and try to get an education so that we can experience upward social mobility and get to the place in life where we can have status. The woman without status, she just has value. All we need to do is to see that she's beautiful, see that she's a virgin, her body count is low, and boom, we take her, marry her, and she automatically gets status. So it's a whole different scenario when it comes to men and the challenge that we have to go through versus women, All right, so let's look at some of these videos from lawyers who would have dealt with family divorce and marriage and all of these things and hear what they have to say.
So I got married about 6 months ago when I was 25, still am 25, and I learned a couple things. I was in New York and I went out with some friends, and then I went out with friends of my friend. I was with a friend and then we went out with her friends. That makes sense. I'm the outsider. We start chit-chatting. They see my hand. They're like, oh my God, you have a wedding ring. And my friend was like, yeah, she's married. Boom. The New York girlies, like the New York 25, 26, 27 corporate baddies. I realized I'm from the South. I realized I got married young. I also don't like being part of stereotypes.
So when
I never quite got that.
Yeah,
you said you got it, so please enlighten me. I don't know.
My assumption here would be that she's probably out with single friends, which is a huge problem. I would say if you're a married woman, one of the things that you want to avoid, even if you're a married man, one of the things that you want to avoid is going out with single friends. Mm-hmm. So I think that by her being out with her single friends, peer pressure is completely awakened. Mm. You understand? So
it depends on the values of the friends that you are surrounded by.
But in her situation, we can clearly see that peer pressure is at play here, because obviously she's there. Mm. They're enjoying life, single and free, and she's seen that, and they're saying, like, are you seriously married? We're out here enjoying life. That's what I get from.
Oh, I see. I could get that.
We're here enjoying life, and you're buckled down with someone,
and you're out here with us.
Yeah. So for her,
I wasn't sure. I couldn't.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. And I think for her, it's just that she is out with the wrong group of people, and that's what I talk about. This whole idea in this culture with the girls trip, the girls clubbing and all of these things. I just want to say, if you're thinking about getting married, just know that these are things that you'll need to put behind you. These are childish, single people behavior. Don't come into marriage and expect good men to lower their standards and drop their boundaries just to facilitate your Jezebel spirit behavior. And I'm being honest. A lot of women want to come into a good and talk about, oh, my man is a high value. What is value? Value is not about money. No, let me rant.
No.
Let me rant.
No. You remember that lady that with the bikini thing? And she said that her husband
is a high value man.
And he has no problem with her having.
That's a low value, low IQ man. No man of value, no man of standard, no man who has boundaries will
be okay with that.
Yeah, will glorify or even appreciate his woman showing off her. Look, we got married. Anybody who goes on my Instagram can see that I'm a muscular guy. And I used to wear my tank tops because I had the physique to wear it. Well, whatever it is. Since we got married, you never needed to tell me that, hey, I don't want you to wear stringer tops to the gym. I just automatically stopped wearing it because guess what? I found my person. I'm not looking for anyone. That comes with maturity. And a lot of women don't understand that. It takes a mature man to understand and see the value in himself, to realize that these things are not only affecting my personal woman, but they're affecting the people around me.
So tell me something.
And wait, and how they affect the people around you is that you are just basically sexualizing yourself.
So that you do with the stringer top them?
Not necessarily. It was just a lot of women used to say that, hey, these are thirst traps, and they were not lying. They were thirst traps, and maybe that's one of the reasons why even my updating experience was so bad, because I had these photos on it and a lot of women just used to sexualize me. They were not really interested in who I am as a person.
And funny enough.
So you have to understand that when you're selling yourself so short,
you can't expect to get
no one is seeing you as someone who has value. Men are looking at you and literally drooling over what you are wearing. That's why it's a Jezebel spirit. I
was thinking about even when I would see your stuff online, I'm thinking to myself,
yeah, man,
if I did not know,
if
I did not know who you are at your core, I would think that you're so self-absorbed and he's so full of himself and he's so selfish and he's just this guy that cares about looking good and that's it.
As men of value, men of standard, we have to, and men who are married and in relationships, we have to think about the effects that our physique or the way in which we carry ourselves. How will this affect the people around me?
And what you do, what you say, how you everything.
When these women look at me as a married man, what will they see, or what are they seeing, or what are they thinking about? And for women, they need to think about the same thing. As a married woman, as a woman that is supposed to have standard, because based on this society now, I don't know, right? But as a woman who is supposed to have standard, as a woman who is supposed to have boundaries, as a woman who is supposed to respect her husband and respect herself, her marriage, when you wear a thong bikini to the beach, when you wear a body rider, as we call it in Jamaica, short shorts with half of your bottom cheek hangs outside, when you wear these revealing clothing, what kind of message are you sending out there to other men looking at you like a piece of meat? And because that's literally what it is. And who do you attract? So don't get mad at a man who has that value, standard, and boundary within himself to understand that he doesn't want to have a woman in his life who attracts those kind of negative attention. It's not about being insecure. It's about having standard. It's about having boundaries, and it's about having value in yourself as a man. Women, I'm tired of now. When our cross is get it right.
Okay.
We're doing wrong.
Okay, let's hear the other one.
All right, so this one is from a gentleman. He talks about the correct age. Let's look at this one.
I got married older in life, and I think for me, and I would advise for everyone, to get all that other crap out of your system. And when you're ready, you're ready.
Yeah. In other words, he's saying that had I gotten married sooner, then that crap would not have been out of my system and I would have had crappy relationship. And because I chose to get married later on in life, I was at a steady place. I was sailing on steady waters, so I could actually shoulder the responsibility that would come with a relationship.
And there's a lot to look at. You talk about, again, the search for identity. You talk about your career goals, your values. You're trying to place these things in different boxes to see what kind of career path you want to choose. You're looking at the goals that you want to obtain. All of these things are things that you have to deal with within the early 20s. And so getting them out the way from early, including women, sometimes you see one girl and you think that, oh, this girl is so beautiful.
This is it.
This is it. And then you might travel to a next country and you realize, oh my God, there's a whole other world out there.
And that's why I realized, when I was in high school and I knew that you were going off to NCU, I was like, there is no way to like there's so many people up there. That was what was going in my mind. That when you said that, it reminded me of my personal experience. But again, granted, we were teens.
And
so we would have been in like that
mature
at that stage.
I wanted you again. 1%.
1%?
1%, meaning that we are in the 1%.
Yeah,
I wanted you
100%. Yet we are in the 1%.
Okay, this is all. Let me say it clear. Let me say it clear so no one clips it and think that. Okay. So I 100% wanted you as my wife, right? And you can just see all these years, and that I've traveled. So I've seen, I've met, and it's still you. So I take pride in the fact that I am in the 1% of men who I saw my person and I just knew that you were the one from day one. And there are other men out there like me. There are other women out there like you.
And it's mutual.
Yeah.
And that's
and
what makes it magical. That's what makes it
But that's the
beautiful,
1%.
Because it's mutual. That's what makes it
good,
beautiful.
Yeah, it's good to get all...
Cut out the magical. You hear do.
Yeah, it's good to get all that stuff out your system and know who you are.
Get to know who you are. It's a big mistake to get married in your 20s. That's what this divorce lawyer is saying.
I'm a divorce lawyer and I've been practicing over 30 years, and I can tell you that it is a big mistake to get married in your 20s and especially in your early 20s. There's so much left to experience and learn and to figure out who actually will be that spouse that will hopefully be around for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and it's the argument
exactly what we have been saying. And this is coming from a person that actually goes through the process of getting people through their divorces, getting people through their child custody battles, getting people through all of this. And she is saying, don't. It's a big mistake. Don't do it.
Right.
Don't do it. Even if you would be in the 1%, as you've said many times before, even if you would be in the 1% that would actually survive, just don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Because marriage in and of itself is very strenuous, and irrespective of what anyone wants to say about marriage is hard. And I keep saying the same thing, like it's the hardest job that any individual can do. It's a self-sacrificing job. You know, it's a job where you have to put away your pride, you have to put away your ego, and that's where submission comes in. So even to make that argument of submission, who should submit, that should not even be a question within marriage. You know, but there are a lot that talk about the financial goals that you have set out for yourself. How financially prepared are you in your early 20s for marriage?
That's true.
And that in and of itself can be very strenuous on your marital relationship when you don't have the finances to do what you want to do. Plus, you are not within that mental space to handle those disappointments that comes with those financial desires. Those things can be hard to maneuver. Those things can be hard to handle. Those things can be hard to compartmentalize and be able to deal with them as a man and sometimes as a woman.
Yes.
You know, and the argument I wanted to make earlier, like back then, a woman would know exactly that she wants this particular man, and that man comes along and she will stay with him for as long as life lasts. At least back then. As long as her bills are paid, she has a roof over her head, she has the babies, she takes care of the household, and he pays all the bill, takes care of her and everything. She stays. It doesn't matter how old what age she's at. An 18-year-old girl can get married to a successful man and she stays married for the rest of her life. Sadly, in this era, you can't say the same. Because a lot of women, even though they make the case or the argument about money, it's not necessarily about money. Some women want to just experience different kinds of men, like men out here who wants to experience different kinds of women.
Yo, I'm just looking.
Sorry.
You know, you would have to do that.
God have mercy.
Okay.
No, me had for that topic. Yeah.
It looks so there are people that have good experiences, and we do not want to just quell this video with the negatives of people divorcing young, but we would, we already established that there's a 1%.
We are in the 1%, and a lot of people will say, "Give them 10 years."
Yes,
you know, give us 10 years.
Yeah.
You have to be prepared to be judged by the same measure.
Yeah, right.
You know, but because it's our second marriage, and we know what people say about second marriage.
Yeah, 90% chance of failing.
Of failing, that's a high chance.
It's a high chance.
But without a doubt, by the power of the Almighty God, we are in the 10%. You know,
but I pray on this.
No, you know, so we are going to be in the 10% for sure. And we can say the same thing for those individuals who are involved with, like, women who says over on TikTok that, hey, I'm with this young guy and he treats me so good. I saw one lady said, hey, she said, hey, he takes care of my bills. He
living life.
Cleans the house. He does all of these. No, old boy can't do this.
Yeah, and I've heard people say that they don't want.
Sorry,
they don't want.
I'm sorry.
Host boy. That be. Anyway,
this no put it in there.
Anyway, but honestly, yeah, I think I think me try gather my thoughts. Just give me one moment. Just pause. No, say nothing.
Right. A moment of silence for my wife as she gathers her thoughts.
God,
so again, this is from Eddie Ford's lawyer.
What is the best age to get married? I've heard this question come up a lot lately. Should I get married in my 20s or 30s? Are my 40s too late? It matters a lot more how prepared you are to marry than what age you are when you get married. The bottom line is it's the preparation. It's what you do in advance. It's how well you know your partner and making sure that you're prepared to make the commitment for the long term to this person, for better or for worse, that is going to be the best predictor if the marriage is going to stick.
That is so true. Let me be the
She's
first
just giving a balance approach.
She's giving a balanced approach, but she's 100% correct. When you get to know the person that you are going to commit to, then your chances of staying will be higher. You remember, I don't know if you've seen those old Bible movies where the family knew each other, it was already destined that these two were going to be together, all of this stuff. There was years, and it wasn't just me getting to know you, you getting to know me. It's the family getting to know each other.
Right.
Because
And
when
they
you
grew up
marry
together and
somebody, they
stuff
grow up
like
together.
that.
But when you marry somebody, you marry into their family.
Yeah.
That's why I completely disagree with people when they say, well, it's just me and you, so it doesn't matter what our family says. I don't believe that your family should be dabbling into your relationship because it's you and your partner.
100%.
But are they somewhat involved? Are they an important part of your relationship? Absolutely.
Yes.
It not go nowhere, right? You coming together with this new person is going to create a deeper link that's going to link the families. So that's important. She also mentioned, the preparation before. Preparation before, families knowing each other, you getting to know your partner. So in those instances, in those Bible movies that we used to see, nobody never have no question of whether they're going to be okay making this commitment. You know why? Because for the last 20 years, they were getting to know each other.
Yes.
Right?
A lot of people don't expect or don't believe that marriage should have so many challenges. People bump heads in marriage. Like just recently we were watching Pop the Balloon, and I commented on her last video with the guy who didn't decide to have a relationship, to pursue a relationship with the young lady because they were bumping heads. And the way in which they were bumping heads was in her having challenges going to him to talk about it, but she was not receiving his encouragement well because of miscommunication, misunderstanding, which he said, by the way. And of course, he's explicitly stated that she made some adjustments. She made adjustments to change the way how she receives his encouragement, and she did change. But at the end of the day, he still doesn't want to pursue a relationship with her because of that. And my comment was, if you can't get over that level of bumping heads, then how are you going to handle marriage? And these people I think they were 25, I think. Again, you talk about young people who are getting, how much experience do you have in dating and relationship? The preparation stage, are you reading? Are you preparing yourself? Are you informing yourself to make the decision to get married? Or are you just going with the flow? Based on the feeling, like what I did. Everybody was getting married in university. All the theologians were getting married. So I just thought that, hey, I needed to be married too, so that the conferences would look at me different and be more willing and open to accept me into pastoral ministry. That's a social pressure, and that doesn't come only from the peers or from your social surrounding, but it also comes from family. Some family might see, like you share your experience of how some mothers would tell you that my son, if my son should come home with you, I would be dancing or something like that. So talk about those social pressures from family members as well, who just want to force you into marriage. So there's a lot to think about when it comes to early marriages, especially those marriages that occur in the early 20s. And our argument remains the same. The statistics are there. Can I just go through quickly a few of these statistics? So this is, go babe, read this.
Okay. What makes people more or less likely to divorce?
The statistics.
Okay. So,
Wilkinson.
This is from Wilkinson, Think Biner or Think Biner.
And this statistics is a compilation of a myriad of years. But this one specifically is the 2024 statistics of all the statistics in the United States.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It says 48% of those who marry before the age of 18 are likely to divorce within 10 years, compared to 25% of those who marry after the age of 25.
Yeah.
Yeah. 60% of couples married between the ages of 20 and 25 will end in divorce.
So
that's 60%. That's higher. Those who wait to marry until they are over 25 years old are 24% less likely to get divorced.
Yeah. And that's statistics. And another one that I have is
in the United States. This is stats for the United States.
Yeah.
It says lack of commitment is the most common reason given by divorcing couples, according to a recent national survey. Right. Here are the reasons given and their percentages. Lack of commitment is at 73%. Arguing too much, 56%. Infidelity, 55%. Married too young,
46%.
46%.
And that's on a national level.
That's on a national level.
And that's just America alone. And the European statistics is crazy.
Yes. Unrealistic expectations, as you mentioned before, 45%. Lack of equality in the relationship, 44%.
Suitability, compatibility.
That we spoke
not even
about
compatibility,
before.
but suitability.
Yes.
The importance of that.
Yes. Lack of preparation for marriage, very high. It doesn't seem high, but 41%.
It's very
high. Yeah. Lack of preparation for marriage. I wasn't prepared. Well, I would say that I was in a mental space for marriage, but was I really, really prepared? Maybe not. Domestic violence or abuse, 25%.
You know what's crazy? Combine, because we're talking about young people in the early 20s. You're going to be looking at the lack of preparation for marriage.
Of course, that's one.
The unrealistic, which is at 44%, 41%, plus the unrealistic expectation,
45.
which is at 45%. And you're married in too young, which is already at 46%.
And then the chance of infidelity and arguing too much.
Well, let's not even put.
I feel like everything. The odds are just stacked against you.
And that is why every single study that comes out shows that young people who get married between the ages late teens and early 20s, the risk of divorce is very high.
And if you came across this video because you are engaged to get married and you are in your early 20s, do not take it as hate if someone says to you or implies or nudges or subtly tells you that you're not ready for this. They are loving you by telling you this. And I'm so happy that you would have come across this video, because guess what? This is a second warning to heed, okay? Don't get married too young. Personally, I would not recommend it. You see the stats, and even if there were no stats,
I'm sorry, babe.
No.
This is a warning.
No, honestly, you know how many warnings I've received on YouTube? I've heard warnings in person, and then I've gone on YouTube.
I wish I had
not just about marriage. I'm just talking about in general, like warnings about what to eat, what to wear, and stuff like that. And I heard it in person, and then I found something on YouTube that confirmed what I heard or believed before. So take this with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
But I hope you are in the 1%.
Yeah. And that's the best thing to say. Because at the end of the day, again, as we said from the
10% or 1%?
1%. Well, 10%.
Hope you're in the 1 to 10%.
Whatever percentage it is,
for success.
For success, we wish everyone a successful marriage. It's our heart's desire that every marriage would last. Yes. But we know that the devil won't have that. Yeah. You know, in reality, it's a generalization, based on the statistics, because again, the population sample, even though this was on a national level, in reality, I'm certain that not everyone participated in that survey because it didn't come to me.
All right.
You didn't get it.
I didn't get it.
And a lot of people watching this never got it either. So it's a generalization. And the truth is, you might not be in that percentage that they talk about. But again, the risks are stacked against individuals who choose to get married in their early 20s. And the arguments that they bring forward are valid. That's what I would say.
Yes.
So if you're someone who is looking to get married in your early 20s, I would say ensure that you are completely prepared. Like, ask the necessary questions, the tough questions, prepare yourself, talk to your family, speak to people who are neutral. You don't want to talk to anyone who is going to pick sides or be biased, or, speak to people who don't know you. If you see the red flags, if you see challenges, please, beg ensure you deal with them before you walk to the altar, because those same challenges might just be the end of your marriage.
Yes. And if them even the flags look slightly pink, or them look like them wash
They're
out.
not fully red.
They're not fully red. Even if them look wash out. You know when white clothes not fully wash good, and it kind of have this good jazz out color. Even if I have a jazz out color, even if it's pink, do not ignore it.
Yeah, it's important.
It will be the nail in the coffin of your marriage being buried in divorce. That's it.
And again, we want to put this out there. Marriage is not for everyone. And my belief that I don't believe that people have the capabilities anymore the willingness
and the temperament.
I would say capabilities too. The capabilities, the temperament, the willingness to really handle marital responsibilities. So I support Paul. If you can live like Paul, live like him, don't get married. If I wasn't married to you, honestly, I probably wouldn't. I would be single, honestly. Because I don't even want to talk about it anymore.
And we definitely want to, we want to in the future cover topics on how to properly prepare for marriage.
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in a topic like that, or if you have a topic in mind surrounding relationship, love, marriage, divorce, please go ahead and leave your comment in the comment section.
We want to thank you guys for tuning into this conversation. Again, leave your comments down below.
Yes.
And we want you to like, subscribe, share our content. Check out our short clips, videos on
TikTok and on YouTube and on Facebook. Just type in Unfiltered Heart Talks, guys.
Yeah.
We're going to be the first ones to pop up. And guess what? Before we go, babe, I'm going to give you all 10 seconds this time. We gave you 5 seconds to start. We're going to give you 10 seconds. If you have not clicked subscribe, maybe you stepped away to actually get a snack. Maybe you did something and you didn't get to do it. We're going to give you 10 seconds. So here's the countdown.
All right, go, babe.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
2, 1, 0.
All right.
0. You ever played a James Bond game there?
No.
Like, guys, you remember when they played James Bond, the old Nintendo 64 game, and you hear the countdown?
We must put that one then. Did they do the countdown from 10?
Yeah, when they count down, like if a place is going to blast up, they would do the countdown, and when they get to 0, they would be like, 0, 0.
Well, if you have subscribed, thank you so much, and welcome to the Unfiltered Heart Talks.
Clap it up.
Welcome to the Unfiltered Heart Talks podcast with the Dawkins.
All right, guys. And if you have not seen or responds to your comments, please go check that video out.
And if you have not seen your comment in that video, don't worry. We're making a part 2, maybe a part 3 and a part 4, because guess what? We are reading all those comments.
It's going to be a continuous thing.
Yes.
It's definitely going to be a continuous. It has to be. It's mandatory.
Yes.
So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you guys on the next one at Unfiltered Heart Talks Podcast with the Dawkins. Ow, ow.
Ow. If we use this in Nuda, I say ow, ow.